and for this video, we are going to create travel itineraries. This one is a 15-day travel itinerary for your Schengen Visa application going to Germany, Switzerland, and France. I'll give you a rundown or a step-by-step of what I actually do to create a travel itinerary. So let's start. Step 1 is I determine the country or the countries that I would want to visit. In this particular video, it would be Germany, Switzerland, and France. Next step, step 2, determine the cities that you'd like to visit. So what are the different cities that you'll be visiting in each of the countries that you would like to see? You may already have a preconceived idea of where you want to visit. What I would usually do is actually plot it in Google Maps. So Google Maps is a great tool in identifying the different cities that you'd like to go to. For example, Germany, I'd like to visit Berlin and Munich. And then I'd like to travel to Switzerland to visit Zurich and Lucerne. In France, I would like to visit the beautiful city of Paris. In step 3, now that I know what are the different areas that I would want to visit, I'll find out how long can I visit those countries, or those cities rather. If you are employed, there can be certain limitations like your available leave credits, your budget, and how far you are allowed to travel as well. So here's what I did. For Germany, I think 5 days would be enough if I'd like to visit only Berlin and Munich. Whereas for Switzerland, I would like to see a lot of places there. So Zurich and Lucerne are the two main places, but I will be going around in those two cities. Then I'd spend 4 days in Paris with a side trip to Versailles. For the how long I'll be traveling in each country. Now for step 4, what I do is determine the exact places that I would like to visit. So how do I do that? First off, I usually read travel blogs. Okay, so my go-to would be Lonely Planet. And then for Filipinos, I think you're familiar with this, Poor Traveler. So their blogs are very informative. I also watch travel vlogs. So since we're talking about the Schengen area, I would recommend for you to watch Rick Steve's Europe. It's available on YouTube. I also browse different travel and tourism websites. There's Expedia. I also go to the local or the national tourism board of each of the countries, and even travel planners like Trip Hobo. Because I have read all of those or have watched all of those different websites and YouTube channels, now I'll be able to determine at least what are the places that I would like to visit. So for example, in Berlin, I'd like to visit the following: the Brandenburg Gate, the Reichstag building, and the Mauer Museum. The thing I do is I plan my route. That's just how I am. I need it to be planned carefully. So if I start with the Brandenburg Gate, I can go to the Reichstag building and then walk towards the Mauer Museum. So that can be done in 1 day. From that, what I would usually do is group the different places together with how far or how near they are from each other, so that I can easily just walk from one place to the other without spending on transportation. Aside from those that I have mentioned, of course, there's social media. You can check social media to determine the exact places that you'd like to visit. For example, you can type places to visit in Germany or Germany on let's say Pinterest or on Facebook or on IG. You'll be able to find the different places that are highly recommended or highly photographed. And then for my step 5, I would look for an accommodation close to the places that I'd like to visit. Take note that when I look for accommodations, I would usually use the following: Google Maps, Booking.com, Agoda, or Airbnb, but it's usually Google Maps along with Booking.com that I use the most frequent. Aside from that one, if I'm choosing Booking.com, I make sure to choose one that is free cancellation, close to different attractions, close to transportation hubs, and of course, free breakfast. The screen how booking.com works. You can click or choose the different filters that you'd like and then check on the map where the particular accommodation is found. And step 6, organize your itinerary. Once you're able to identify where you'd like to go, when you'd like to visit, and where you will be staying, organize them in a table. Itinerary would usually look like this. So I have the day, the date, the city or country, the activities, and the accommodation that where I'll be staying. 1, 2, 3, the date, March 7, 8, 9. So this would be a 15-day itinerary. And then the city or country. So we'll start off with Berlin. And then for the activities, I make sure to include the flight details. Itinerary, I'll be arriving in the airport in Berlin. I include the flight, even the flight number. And of course, after that one, I'll be jet lagged, so it's a free day. The following day would be my Berlin city tour, where I'll be going to the Brandenburg Gate, the Reichstag building, as well as the Mauer Museum. The following day, I'll be traveling to Munich via train. The train from Berlin to Munich is around 4 hours of travel, so that would be like half a day seated in the train. And then the rest of the day, I'll be just resting in the new accommodation. So for the accommodation, I usually would highlight the name of the accommodation itself, include the address, the phone number, as well as the confirmation from booking.com. So this is just an imaginary confirmation, but the address and the telephone number of the hotel are real. That's my 3 days in Berlin. My next 2 days in Munich, I'll start the tour on the 7th with going to a day tour. And then the following day, March 8th, Nymphenburg Palace, and the 9th, we'll be traveling to Zurich via train once more. For the train from Munich to Zurich, if it's a non-stop train, it would be around 4 hours and 5 minutes. Or if there is a transfer, that would be around 5 hours and 36 minutes. So I would usually allot a day, a single day for the transfer so that I will not be too tired while traveling. So next one would be going to Zurich, Switzerland. So the first day on the 10th would be a day tour. The second day would be a tour on the Lindholm of Chocolate. And of course, on the 12th, we'll be going to Lucerne now. The trip from Zurich to Lucerne may last for an hour depending on your train, whether it's a non-stop train or a train with several transfers. If it's a non-stop train, usually it's just 40 to 50 minutes. So for Lucerne, the first day would be a day tour in the old town, the Chapel Bridge, the Kapelbrücke, that's the Chapel Bridge. And then the second day, I'll be visiting the Jungfraujoch, so that would be the top of Europe. And on the third day, March 15th, we'll be traveling to Paris via train again. Train ride from Lucerne to Paris, there's actually no direct train route. I would either go back to Zurich or go to Basel, which is another city in Switzerland, to ride the TGV Lyria, which is a fast train going straight to Paris. So since there's no direct train route, it would take around 5 hours from Lucerne to Paris when the train ride. The travel itinerary from Germany, Switzerland, and then to Paris. Here are some travel tips. First, make sure that you do not pack each place in one day. So if you would like to visit a lot of places within a particular city, I would suggest that you separate them into 2 days so that you will not be tired as well. Next tip, go for places within your budget. Most places in Europe, you can visit them for free. There are places like museums or churches which have entrance fees. And if you would really want to visit them, like the Louvre in France, then you would really have to save up for them because the fees aren't cheap. So that's it for another video. Thank you so much for watching, and please do make sure to like and subscribe. So see you in the next video. Bye!